Welcome to CDEV 108. My name is Janet Dusenberry, and I will be your instructor for this 8-week online course. This course focuses on the appropriate use of assessments and observation strategies to document development, growth, play, and learning to join with families and professionals in promoting children's success. We will be recording strategies, we'll be utilizing different rating systems, portfolios, and multiple assessment tools will be used during this course. I wanted to get with you because we are going to be meeting every Thursday. So I wanted to get with you before because obviously the whole week's over by Thursday and a lot of work is due. So I kind of wanted to go over Module 1 prior, and then on Thursday we'll kind of discuss and review Module 1 and then go on to the next module. So that way you can be ahead of it. Let me go ahead and pull up Module 1. So this is Canvas. I should actually go start a little bit because I had some really great questions. Under Canvas, do you see this right here? It says Student MindTap Resources. This is very important because this is where you'll be able to purchase MindTap. This is your textbook. It's week by week. You need to purchase the textbook and the MindTap application. MindTap is an application that you'll be able to go on. You'll be able to watch the videos that I have listed here within the modules. You'll be able to take all your quizzes and any exams. So it's very important that you have MindTap. You won't be able to pass the class without MindTap. So you can, where you see this button right here, MindTap on Canvas, the registration and login, you can actually go in, and I believe it's $80. You can purchase the online version of the textbook, so you won't have a hard copy, but you'll have an online version, and then you also will have access to all the quizzes and videos. So you can do that as well. They also offer a 14-day trial period, but I recommend if you are going to use that, that you actually sign up and pay for it prior to 14 days, because once the 14-day trial is over, it deletes all your scores. I won't have access to any of your quizzes that you have already taken. So really important to do that. If not, you like me and need something harder to actual something to highlight and so forth, you can buy the textbook. And it is the 11th edition. So you want to make sure to get the 11th edition, and you can probably find it used in the bookstore as well or online through Amazon. So going over Module 1, again, as you see, I'll always write at the top of the modules when we meet Zoom, if we meet that week. So this particular week, we meet Thursday, October 22nd. That's this coming Thursday at 6:30. That is the Zoom where we will be discussing the syllabus. I'm going to go over in detail the syllabus and walk you through all the modules. And we're going to talk about Module 1, like I said, and go over all the upcoming assignments. But I wanted to just get with you and kind of go over Module 1 and let you see what I have in the module. That way you know what you're looking for. Again, because Thursday is almost the end of the week. So you always will click the instructions when you first come to the module. It's the first button, and it shows you here an overview for the module. Now my video I'm making right now for you will be in here as well. It will be at the top. So you can always review the video prior. But in Module 1, I always write what, after completing the readings of Chapter 1 and 2, because that's the readings that we're reading this week, what are the learning the opportunities, right? So when I give you this, these are for 2 chapters. You can see it starts with 1, that is all pertaining to Chapter 1. If it starts with the number 2, it all pertains to Chapter 2. This is what I'm looking for you to be locating within these chapters. These are the key points. So make sure you go through that. In Chapter 1, you'll be able to name at least 10 reasons why teachers should observe their students. You should be able to identify why it's important to write down and to document observations. We'll be discussing why it is useful to use different methods to observe and what role we play as the observer. Also justifying using portfolios as authentic assessment strategies for documenting young children's development. And lastly, in Chapter 1, you'll be able to describe how this book will help you develop a comprehensive portfolio. Then in Chapter 2, you'll be able to identify the characteristics of class list logs as an observation tool. You'll also be able to describe a reflective journal and why it's important, why it's valuable. You'll be able to explain plans to help children and families adjust to school or groups, because remember, we're most of the time we're dealing with early young children, I should say, early childhood. Most of the time it is their first school experience with us. You'll be able to identify warning signs of separation difficulties. That's a big one too, especially with the younger children. You'll be able to see all those warning signs and be able to identify them. And then examine strategies to include all children in school adjustment. And then I'll also indicate every single week what SLO, that's student learning objective, what SLOs will be covered. This course has 3, so you can see in this week we are covering 2 of them. We'll be able to describe and evaluate the characteristics and strengths and limitations and applications of contemporary observation and assessment tools that we use. We'll also be able to complete systematic observation using a variety of data collection methods to inform environmental design, interactions, and curriculum. So those are the 2 we'll be touching on this week. And then I always end this with what do you have to do to be successful within this module? Well, one will be to watch this video that you're watching right now. Review the syllabus for important due dates and assignments. And again, I'd like you to review that syllabus before Thursday. Take down some notes if you have questions, because that's what that is about. The Zoom meeting, we will have face-to-face contact, and we'll be able to talk. And then I'm sure if you have a question, other people might have that same question. So I want to address all your questions during the Zoom. Now, that is not saying that you can't email me. I am available all the time for you to email me, and I normally get back to you. I try to give myself 24 hours, but technically it's normally within minutes I get back to you. I always try to be really good about getting back to you. So you can always email me. Don't wait for the Zoom to ask questions. You can email me. You can go on the side over here where it says Pronto. You can email each other. Pronto is an area where you can go in and talk to students within the classroom, which is real important when it comes to upcoming peer reviews and getting into groups and so forth. But again, we'll go into that a little deeper on Thursday. So after you review the syllabus for the important dates and assignments, you're going to go and read chapter 1 and 2 this week in your textbook. You will complete the quizzes chapters on chapter 1 and 2 by Friday, October 23rd at 11:59 p.m. These quizzes are worth 10 points each, okay? They automatically close after the time, so it's very important to look at the time. Mostly everything, the final versions are due on Friday, and you'll see that. So again, by Friday, you want to complete both your quizzes. Now, your discussion boards, this week we have 2. One is creating community, which kind of we tell each other a little bit about each other, so we get to know the people in our class, and then also observing children. So these are 2 discussion boards we'll be having. They're worth 10 points each. Now, on the discussion boards, the first thread, that means I will have a question up there for you to answer. You will answer it before Wednesday. I would suggest I open these modules for you every Saturday, so you have from Saturday to Wednesday. I would suggest do not wait till Wednesday. Post yours as soon as you can, after you do your readings, of course, because your readings will help you with these discussions because they're intertwined with your readings. So once you do that, then you have to and that has to be 100 words or more. There's a little word count at the bottom when you're typing. You can see how many words it is. Make sure it's at least 100 words or more. Then you want to respond to 2 of your peers. So you have yours done. Now you're going to read what 2 of your peers said, and you'll respond to them no later than Friday, the 23rd, 11:59. So, and at that, your response has to be 50 words or more in length. Now, what's important is that you must complete your original thread by that Wednesday. If you don't, now you have 0 points. That's part of it. So your first entrant has to be by that Wednesday. And then you have Thursday to do 1 peer post, and then Friday as well. If you finish, let's say, your original thread Monday night, then you have from Tuesday to Friday to do your 2 peer posts. Now, it's important that none of these are on the same day. You cannot do your original thread and 2 peer posts on the same day. They must be different days. You do your original on one day, 1 peer on one day, wait a day, and then do your last peer. Very important, they are not done on the same day. So make sure you will not get credit if that happens. So make sure you do that. Again, we'll discuss this a little bit more on Thursday. And then there's some in-class Zoom, I should say, that we'll be going over, and one is personality testing. And then I also provide your video chapter, your chapter videos. So we're on chapter 1 and 2. You'll see videos, and I'm going to go back and show you where they're located because one of those videos ties into this number 2 discussion board, which is observing children. I want you to watch one of the videos that's indicated observing children, so you'll be able to answer that discussion, okay? And then it says print up and review observation 1 instructions. That is really, you're going to go into that next week because then we'll meet again and we'll actually go into depth about your first observation that you will be conducting, okay? And then it says begin to view some videos. So if you do not currently work at a center and have access to young children, then you'll be watching videos that I provide for you for your observation. Now you can, again, I'll get into this a little more in detail, but you can, if you have young children in your family or you have friends that have children ages 3 to 5, because that's what your observation's about, you can do some of the observation on live students, okay? Some of it asks about teacher interaction. Obviously, you couldn't watch your sister's children unless she was a teacher and you're in a academic environment. You'll have to watch the videos for that portion. Okay, so on here, I'm going to go ahead and now I'm going to go back to our modules. I do want to go over the individual tabs. And sometimes it takes a moment. I'm going to scroll down. So I'm going to look for module 1 because that is what we're on right here. Module 1. So we went over the instructions. Here's the Zoom meeting link. You'll click on that and it takes you right to the link. And you'll click on this link when you're ready. Now we're going to meet this coming Tuesday. So let's see, that's the wrong one. I apologize. We're going to meet this coming Thursday, I should say, October 22nd at 6:30. So you'll be able to click on that link and pull that up. Oops, there we go. And pull that link up. It's listed for you. I also will email it to you. Or actually, I already emailed one, I believe. So anyway, there's the link. So next, your PowerPoints. I always provide PowerPoints for each chapter that you read in your textbook. So here are chapter 1 and chapter 2 PowerPoints. You may look at those. Discussion boards, creating community is the first one. I'll click on it just to show you what it looks like. So it tells you the learning process is enhanced and far more lasting when classmates know and trust each other. So basically it's asking some questions. You're going to respond by answering these questions with your original thread, and then you're going to wait and answer 2 different of your peers. And I always will have down below a rubric of what I'm looking for and how to earn the most possible points you can. That is the first discussion board. The second discussion board is observing children. You'll click on that. Sorry, this bounces around a little bit. You'll click on observing children, and here's your second one. It says view case video 2 to 5-year-old observation. Again, the video is attached within the modules, and I'm going to show you where that's at. So you're going to watch it for the first 7 minutes of the video, and you're going to write down everything you hear, everything that you see and hear, and then it goes into detail, and then you're going to answer these questions. So long as you answer every question I ask, you'll get full credit on here. Again, your first thread is due, your original post, your first thread is due by Wednesday, and 2 peer posts by Friday, and they must be on different days. So with that in mind, let me go back to, this is where we just clicked observing children. I'm going to go down a little bit where it says videos. And this is the video right here. Chapter 1 case video, 2 to 5-year-old observation module for early childhood. That is a video that you will click on, and I will show you. It takes you to another site, and then you're going to click on it to load the video, and then you will, Synnage is the publisher of your textbook. And then this is what MindTap is. This takes you into this called MindTap. And it will go right into the case video. And then you just click on it, you play, you watch it, and then you'll answer the questions. Again, you're watching the first 7 minutes of this video, okay? So let me go back. And that kind of wraps up our discussion boards for this week. Then there is, oops, jumps around, I apologize. So there's a couple more videos I really like you to watch. Is In Brief, the science of early childhood development. These are only just a couple minutes each. And then chapter 2. So these first 2 are in chapter 1. They are in reference to chapter 1. Chapter 2, there's another case video for you to watch the importance of assessments and within toddlers. And then after you're done with those, you'll go into taking your quizzes. You'll click on chapter 1 quiz, chapter 2 quiz. They are both due by Friday at 11:59 p.m. and they're both worth 10 points each. And there's some professional resources if you would like to look at those as well. And then at the bottom of every single